What's up? It's your girl Anna Talks Wrestling here. Welcome to my channel. Lace up your boots, hit the subscribe and like button, and let's get ready to dive deep into everything pro wrestling. Today we're going to be ranting about WrestleMania 41 because what in the world was that? Was that really the biggest, best show they could have ever put on? Absolutely freaking not. And I don't even know where to begin. Where do I start my rant? Okay, let's go with night one. First match. Who was it? Jey Uso versus Gunther. A match nobody even cared to see because we've seen it one too many times, in which we saw Jey Uso win his first ever singles title, the World Heavyweight Championship belt, which mind you, we all freaking knew. No doubt, 100,000%, take it to the bank, write them a check. We knew this was freaking happening without a doubt. So, I mean, that really ruined everything, right? Because it was so predictable. And they kicked off WrestleMania 41 with that match. So absolutely horrible there. And let's talk about the fact how underwhelming it was that Jey Uso barely even did a huge yeet celebration. Like, hello, that's what we're here for. It is WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. This whole time, you've been yeeting like crazy on every other show other than freaking WrestleMania 41. I mean, what in the world was that? That was freaking horrible, walking through the crowd while everyone's yeeting and he doesn't even give a crap to yeet now, apparently. Or what in the world's going on? Because if that was me, I'd be crying my eyes out. On the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. And I have a twin brother who has never even touched a singles title. Like, I'm the first to do it between the two of us. This legendary tag team that's part of the bloodline. What in the world was that? You tell me. I have no idea where Jey Uso thought he was that night, but it was not freaking WrestleMania. Winning the World Heavyweight Championship, a world title. Hello? Speaking of world titles, don't even get me started on Io Sky. Guys, this one just pisses me off on another level. Io freaking Sky, are we for real right now? What has she done to retain the women's championship in WWE other than being super irrelevant to every storyline she's a part of? I am so sorry. Nothing against Io Sky. Great wrestler. Okay. But she is not world championship material. She really isn't. She's done nothing to excel. Has done nothing to make herself relevant as a world champion in the WWE. Chelsea Green, who holds the US title as a mid-carder, should be booked as one of the top stars. Heck, her and Io Sky should be switching places. Way more charismatic and deserves a spot at WrestleMania than Io freaking Sky, who just defeated two of the top superstars in WWE ever. Mami, Rhea Ripley, and the EST Bianca Belair, the baddest, the toughest, the strongest. Hello? What are we doing here? All you phony fans out there that say Io Sky deserves it, don't hate on her, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. She does not deserve that title. I am so sorry to say that, but she does not deserve it. She's done nothing good with it. And let's talk about the fact that Bianca Belair is being freaking booed. She's being booed. Like the EST is being booed. The babyface Bianca Belair. The sweetest, the kindest Bianca Belair. She is being booed. She is totally heading towards a heel turn, especially with this Jade Cargill Naomi storyline. Like, is it just me? Or did we not notice how big of a storyline the attack on Jade Cargill was by Naomi? Which I still think Bianca Belair is a part of. Why couldn't they just have put the title on Bianca Belair to then go on to have a triple threat for the women's championship between Bianca Belair, the EST, the toughest, the strongest, the baddest, and Caution Naomi, and of course, Jade Cargill. How are they not seeing this? A complete missed opportunity, if you ask me, to make one of the greatest storylines in the women's division that could possibly ever exist. Or at least is super hot right now. Like, why are they not capitalizing on the super hot storylines in the company? Speaking of super hot storylines, let's talk about the fact that Liv Morgan and Raquel lost their tag team titles. To who? To Lyra Valkyria? Like, seriously, who is she to hold 2 freaking titles in the WWE? I'm so sorry, another great wrestler, but a mid-card wrestler. For a reason. She is now holding the Intercontinental title, the first ever woman to hold an IC title in the women's division, and is now a tag team champ? What in the world has she done to deserve that? Heck, you guys could have put Nia Jax in that and I would have been happier than Lyra Valkyria. Sure, she's a sweetheart, but she does not have it to hold 2 titles. Can you at least let her do something with the IC title? Something relevant. She didn't even defend it at WrestleMania. That's a great way to diminish the value of her title. Absolutely makes no freaking sense. And then Becky Lynch, the man coming out. Yes, I'm so happy she returned. But at least make her entrance grand. I'm not just trying to complain about everything, but when somebody comes out like that and returns, especially with a gimmick like the man Becky Lynch, who has come out in such grand ways, what in the world was that? How could they do that to my girl Bayley? Everybody loves Bayley. Imagine walking up to Bayley and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to pretend you're on the card of WrestleMania, but we're not actually going to put you on there. We're going to actually add Becky Lynch the man instead. Or maybe she was actually booked and then Becky was like, hey, you know what, guys? I feel great for WrestleMania. Put me in there. And then they go up to Bayley and say, hey, yeah, scratch that. Never mind. You're not on the card of WrestleMania. You are not going to perform on the grandest stage of them all. After you have been busting your butt for weeks and years in this company. I mean, come on. That was doing dirty to Bayley. Say whatever you want. That was unfair. And that was not cool. Obviously, I know Bayley hasn't been on some crazy level right now. I understand that. But to just throw her off the card of WrestleMania? I mean, that's an insult. So insulting. Now, I'm not saying they can't follow through with storyline, but at least don't insult a wrestler who has been there for the fans and for the company. Come on now. What are we doing? To then have Lyra go on to win the tag team titles? Absolutely freaking not. You could have at least put Bayley and Becky Lynch together. That would have been better than boring Lyra Valkyria. Because she is boring. Sure, she looks cool when she comes out. Wrestles good. But where is the excitement with her? Because there is none. Other than the fact everyone's saying, she's awesome, she's so sweet, don't hate on her. I'm hating on her because she does not deserve that yet. Maybe one day, sure. But not at WrestleMania 41. Are we freaking serious? And then I have to mention the hottest thing that was going on in WWE. Liv Morgan and Raquel were like the hottest heels in the company right now. Let's take the titles away from them. That makes a lot of sense. Let's take away the titles from 2 women who are actually doing something relevant in the women's division, in the tag team division. Not only in just the world of pro wrestling, but even outside of pro wrestling, they were relevant. They took the titles away from Liv Morgan and Raquel and gave a title to someone else in their group. Someone maybe way less deserving. Dirty Dom? You gave it to dirty, filthy Dominick Mysterio? Are we for real right now? To take it from Bron Breakker, another person that's one of the hottest things that's going on in WWE. He is a freaking beast. Did you not hear Steiner math for the pre-show of WrestleMania? Did you not hear him on the mic? Have you not been seeing him wrestle? What he did with I Show Speed in the Royal Rumble. Like, he's been so relevant. And we're taking it away from a massive superstar to give it to dirty Dominick Mysterio? What has Dom done to deserve that? This man cannot ever stand alone. To ever make him relevant, you had to put him with his father, with his dad, the legend Rey Mysterio. And then you had to go on and put him next to one of the greatest women in the history of pro wrestling, Mami, Rhea Ripley, who he then went on to betray and joined Liv Morgan. Let the man stand on his own and prove himself first before you go ahead and give him the Intercontinental title that was so not deserving of him. It was not. Braun Breaker has been busting his butt for what? For what reason? Are we serious right now? I mean, you could have at least given it to Finn Balor in the group. And if you were going to have Dom win the titles, let Liv Morgan and Raquel keep it so they can actually be a group of 3 holding the titles. No, you took it away from Liv Morgan and Raquel and gave Dom a title instead. Where does that even make sense? Speaking of not making sense, for the main event, Night 2, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, the GOAT, the legend himself, so we say, who is in his retirement tour, his farewell tour, his final run in the WWE as a pro wrestler, wins the title from the face of the company right now. The face of the company that everybody so loves. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The man who's been showing up every week, wrestling for us, showing up and cutting promos for us for this storyline. Actually showing up. Not just coming 3 or 4 times and thinking you've earned it. No. He has been busting his butt and showing up. Yes, I'm talking about none other than the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the heel John Cena. And when I put these air quotes out here, I'm putting them out there for a reason. Heel John Cena, you were not booed. You were cheered in that stadium. A true heel would have never been cheered. Never. Never in a million freaking years. You want to know who a true heel is? A true heel is Jon Moxley in AEW, where everybody actually really hates him and boos him. That's a true heel, John Cena. Not you. Not somebody who just spent their day today meeting their fans at a meet and greet. Who you said is the problem. Who you broke up with. Who you said you dislike very much so. To the fact you were insulting us. Insulting us for what? Why are you meeting the fans? Where's kayfabe? Hello, this is not Hollywood. You don't just stop after the movie stops filming. You don't just stop after the director says cut. Not here, sir. Not here. If you knew anything about pro wrestling, you would know you keep kayfabe. Take it from the legend himself, a true legend, The Undertaker. Did he ever break kayfabe? Did he ever break the fourth wall? Did he? But we got John Cena out here meeting the fans that he hated so much, that were cheering for him when he won the title, to break the record for the most title reigns at 17 wins when he showed up a couple times. And you think you proved yourself? What is this whole final farewell tour for now? I feel like it's irrelevant. You're washed up. You have things to prove. You left us for Hollywood. Cody Rhodes, who's been a company man, who is the face of the company right now, who is the face of the fans, truthfully, who stands for the fans. You're just going to bury him? Bury everybody, John? Is that what we're going to do? Is this back to when John Cena just always won and buried everybody? Because damn, it sure feels that way. It really feels that way. And boy, am I so freaking upset with this whole WrestleMania. I mean, night 1 was way better than night 2. Don't even get me started on that. Although night 1 was way more predictable, I must say. But night 2 was a freaking disaster. By disaster, I mean they had the TNA champ face Randy Orton for his 20th WrestleMania appearance. It was Randy Orton's 20th WrestleMania appearance, and he was supposed to be facing one of the greats, Kevin Owens, and instead you gave him somebody who's not even in the company. Somebody who's not even in the WWE gave him. The TNA champ, Joe Hendry. A guy who's just famous because of his song. Not because of his wrestling skills, not because of his promo skills, but just because of his songs. Does that even make any sense to you? You couldn't put somebody like Sami Zayn or even Karrion Kross on the freaking card? And y'all have heard Karrion Kross go off. I know y'all seen that video. He is exactly right. Karrion Kross is somebody who's been showing up week after week, missing funerals, missing birthdays, as he said, proving himself to get that match at WrestleMania. But no, instead, you gave it to Joe Hendry, who's not even part of the company. And then Logan Paul gets a win, a YouTuber who also shows up just a few times a year to beat AJ Styles. What is going on? What in the world is going on? And how could you guys sell these shirts at WWE World? The Rock has returned to Las Vegas. The Rock didn't even show up. You guys tried so hard to make John Cena feel like a heel that you had Travis Scott come out and join him. For what reason? Just to get some pop culture? Just like your ticket sales were just for all the celebrities and rich people that have money, not for any diehard fans out here? Is that what it's for? Just to be mainstream and get the views on social media? Where is the respect in pro wrestling? Where has that gone? Has that died down? Does Triple H not know how to book true pro wrestlers? Is he just looking for views and likes and shares? Logan Paul might be a great wrestler, but it's easy to look good when you show up a few times a year, unlike other people who show up time and time again. You take Bayley off the card. Sami Zayn is nowhere to be found. Karrion Kross wasn't booked. Guys, I would have been happier with Carmelo Hayes being Randy Orton's mystery opponent. Solo Sikoa didn't even get a match. The tribal chief himself, Solo Sikoa, who has led the storyline of the bloodline this past year. He has worked so hard. No, you just have him walking out with Jacob Fatu. And listen, I love Jacob Fatu. He has got charisma. He has got talent. But to put Jacob Fatu and not Solo on WrestleMania is also just an insult. Because Solo has been proving himself time and time again. He really has. And I'm just so freaking upset with how this all went down. No Sami Zayn. No Alexa Bliss. No Karrion Kross. No Braun Strowman. A freaking beast. A beast. No Chad Gable. No Otis. I mean, I can go on and on and on. No Miz. This was an insult to pro wrestlers that show up every week. This was just pure insulting. Even as a fan, pro wrestlers have been insulted. Diehards have been insulted. The fans have been insulted. What are we going to do next? We'll have to find out. But I will say one thing I'm happy about. At least the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, got a victory. At least he got something he deserved. At least Tiffany Stratton got something she deserved. At least the New Day kind of sort of got something they deserved, because what was the whole Big E story for? I don't really understand why he's not being involved even as a manager. And if he wasn't going to, why even bring him out in the first place? Jade, I don't think she should have defeated Naomi personally. I think Jade is not as good as Naomi. She's not. Naomi is doing some of the best work of her career right now. So I don't think they did right by her either. At least they had Seth Rollins win. And Paul Heyman joined him. That was great. Maybe they should have held off on the fact that Seth Rollins was owed a favor by Paul Heyman, the wise man. So it could have been a complete surprise. But no, they had to ruin that too. But you know what they did? You know what they did right? The happiest moment of my night. They gave El Grande Americano his flowers. Thank you. Thank you for giving El Grande Americano his flowers. That is something I can stand by. Thank you for giving him his flowers. Stay tuned for my official ratings for Night 1, Night 2 of WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. I will dive deeper into each match and go through what's the worst to best matches that did happen. So thank you so much for joining in my rant today and being here. Being a true fan of pro wrestling. Thank you so much for joining in today. If you enjoyed this video here, please like and subscribe for more wrestling content with your girl Anna here.